Hi everyone, my name is Gia. For those of you who don't know me, I share content to guide people in remembering their true authenticity, their true inner voice. And today I want to talk about sub-personalities within our inner family system. So just like we have our physical family, the child, the nurturer, the adult, there's also family system within us, which is talked about a lot in mental health field and also in spiritual communities. In mental health, it's approached through inner family systems therapy approach, and in spiritual communities, it really talks about how important it is to balance our inner sub-personalities, our inner family, to be able to grow spiritually and also to make sure that we don't get in the way of our own spiritual growth. So it's really about examining ourselves and examining the sub-personalities within us to make sure they're balanced and also to make sure they're expressed fully in a harmonious manner. So the point is, if you find yourself in emotional pain, spiritual blockages, or psychological pain, it can be very beneficial to look into this inner family system within you to see what might be out of balance and what might be suppressed. So the first member that I want to talk about within our inner family system is the inner child. So the nature of the inner child is to express, to explore, and to be playful, to take the time to play and fully express its creativity and to create. And a healthy inner child would freely be expressing its true authentic voice. A healthy inner child would be very playful, curious, and in a way also very fearless in the way it would explore the world around and also within. So if this inner child sub-personality within you is suppressed or not fully expressed, there might be lack of self-expression, lack of authentic voice, lack of curious nature, not being able to be playful and free-flowing, and perhaps disconnected from intuition, from feelings, from creative expression. And then there is the inner nurturer. The inner nurturer is kind of like our nurturer in our physical family. So the role of the inner nurturer is to make sure the child is supported and also given unconditional love. So the role of the nurturer is really to give the child time and space to play and to express and to be creative. If the inner nurturer is not playing its role, then the nurturer might turn into more of a controlling and authoritative figure. So that figure might be very judgmental, needing the child to be in a certain way, act in a certain way, and sometimes even think in a certain way. So there might be a lot of shame put into the inner child. So it's really about giving the child the time and space to fully express itself in a healthy manner and also be playful and be curious. For example, if you are someone who never really got to be a child growing up, for whatever the life circumstance it was, you had to play the role of a parent since you were very young, then it can be common that you might have not had a chance to be or express your child self. And the good news is that we can always go back and express whatever it was that was suppressed in the present moment, because the inner child is still within us. Remember, it's the inner family working system. So, for example, it's important to kind of look back and think of some things that you didn't really get to do that you really wanted to do as a child. Maybe you wanted to ride a bike and explore insects around your neighborhood, but you never really got to do that because you had to take care of your siblings or your parents. So you can actually do that right now, even though you're an adult or a lot older. You can really do this because it's really about nurturing the inner child within you in the present moment that can really heal that sub-personality of yours. If you never really got to play in a lake without having to worry about safety of your siblings because your parents were not around or they were not playing their role, then you can do that. You can go ahead and go out to a lake with your friends and just play, just be playful, explore the water, explore the nature, the sounds of the water. So these are some different ways that you can reconnect to your inner child so that it can express itself in a more balanced manner. Because a lot of us who are not connected to our inner child, we might be playing the role of our inner nurturer in our physical relationships too. So it might involve a lot of controlling, it might involve a lot of judgmental stance. So this is a great way to kind of come back to yourself and reflect on some of the sub-personalities, the sub-family systems that might be out of balance. So what would a healthy inner nurturer within you say to yourself when you happen to make a mistake at work, or if you happen to be in an embarrassing situation that you just really want to hide yourself and criticize yourself? What would a healthy nurturer say to you, to your inner child in those situations? So it's really about examining some of the self-talk that goes on within you to really see what might be out of balance within the inner family systems. Now that we've covered the inner child and the inner nurturer, we can move on to the inner adult. Now, the inner adult subpersonality really helps you grow emotionally, psychologically, mentally, and spiritually. So it really helps you work towards following your passion, your drive towards your soul's vision, soul's goal. And also, the inner adult really recognizes the power of sexuality, the power of the sacred, intimate creativity that is really within us. And a healthy inner adult would also set healthy boundaries in living true authenticity, and also making sure that your energy is not drained by your environment, also to make sure that you're following your truth rather than being drained by others' belief systems. So if your inner adult is not fully taken care of, the inner adult might still be struggling in setting their own personal boundaries, in figuring out their spiritual journey, and also in kind of living in a child's mind. So one sign might be you might have kind of unclear idea of where you want to drive your life towards, or you don't really know what you like. You do know what you used to like as a child, but you don't know what you like right now as an adult. This might be some examples of work that might need to be done to really balance out that adult subpersonality within us. Now there's the inner sage subpersonality. So this subpersonality's role is to make sure that each role within the family system, so the inner child, inner nurturer, and the inner adult, to play its role in a balanced, harmonious manner. So its role is to really observe and discern what might be out of balance, rather than putting judgment or putting value on any subpersonalities. So, for example, if your inner sage notices that the inner nurturer is being very controlling and judgmental, rather than allowing the inner child to play and express its true authenticity, then the sage might step in and tell the inner mother that your role is to give the child the space and time to play. Your role is not to control or judge. Then the sage would kind of try to balance out the different aspects within the inner family system. It's also important to recognize that in order to have a healthy inner sage, it's critical for the inner child and the inner adult and the nurturer to be balanced to a certain degree, for the sage to be able to discern in a healthy manner and really observe non-judgmentally. I want to invite you to examine your own workings of your inner family system. And one way to do this is to really pay attention to your self-talk. So in any given life situations, listen and observe who tends to talk more within their inner family system. Is it your inner child that's more predominant, or is it the nurturer that's more predominant? Really see who is getting more suppressed and which one is being a little bit more predominant. And our role is to really gauge these aspects of our subpersonality to be able to balance it out, and for each of them to have its own expression in a balanced manner. So again, we can always heal our past through working through our inner families. If you have a wound as a child in your past, then we can work through these pain and heal ourselves through working with our inner child. And this can go with other aspects of our subpersonalities as well. You can engage in activities to really observe and balance out your subpersonalities that might be out of balance. I hope this video was helpful for you in some way. If you have any questions or you want to chat, make sure you contact me. I will put the contact at the end of the video. Until then, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you.